Hi guys. I need to take a sip of this before I start. Okay, so I am independent consultant and executive regional vice president Jenna Bolton. And on this training, I am going to talk to you guys about the daily method for success and or slash power hours. So I'm going to talk to you guys about what those things are and how crucial they are in furthering your business on the daily. Okay, so what is the daily method for success? This document, it's like a one-pager that you can refer to. What I usually tell people is that you can like save it to your phone. I always create on my phone an Arbonne notes section. I also create an Arbonne photo section. I highly recommend you do both of those things. And then you can save pertinent documents that you're going to reference often, like in those folders. So you can find this document embedded within this document. And you can also find this document within your region page in the units or the guides. So that's where you can also find it. Okay, so what does this look like? This is about an hour of your time every single day, okay? And I want to like drive home the fact that this can be whenever it suits you. Okay, so we don't tell you like you have to work your business at 5 a.m. We don't tell you you have to work your business at 12 noon. We don't like you can work this business when it's convenient for you. That's what the beautiful thing about running an Arbonne business is that you get to choose when you work your business. However, the very, very important thing is that you actually work your business every single day. Okay, so I always say like to people when I first started Arbonne, I was like my desk looked so nice. Like it was so pretty and all my papers were like organized and I was like, okay, like this is good. But what I was doing was I was like playing Arbonne, right? Like I wasn't actually doing the daily activities to move my business forward. So don't do what I did because it just like honestly slows you from like getting through the, like not getting through, promoting through the levels and like being really successful with this business. So okay, so about an hour of your time, okay, give or take. And if you can only do half an hour here and half an hour there, it doesn't really matter, you guys, at the end of the day, as long as you're getting this checklist completed, it really doesn't matter how you do it. So what this checklist entails is 20 minutes. I'm just going to go through what it entails. 20 minutes of personal growth or development. So if you're brand new to Arbonne and you keep hearing, like, I keep hearing everyone say like 20 minutes of personal growth. What is that? What is that? So what it is we work on our mindset and we work on becoming like the best version of ourselves. And I know that sometimes sounds a little bit like, okay, but it's actually so important because there are things that are going to come into your business or people are going to say certain things that are going to like kind of like knock you down a little bit. But when you're doing the personal growth, it doesn't keep you stuck for a really long time. You're just like, oh, that kind of sucks. But then you like bounce back. And that's why we do the personal growth. So personal growth can contain or can be a couple different things. So it can be reading a book. So if you're like, I actually just love to read, perfect. Within this document, there is a list of suggested books and audios and podcasts to listen to that we suggest because they're really, really good. So you can choose to read a book. You could do like whatever, 20 minutes of reading, right? And then, or if you're like, I'm too busy for reading, like, and reading's never really been my thing, I don't really like it, you can listen to a podcast. So when I get ready in the morning, like when I'm doing my makeup or brushing my teeth and all that stuff, I always have a podcast on, or I have some like kind of like something to listen to. Same thing when I'm driving. So we like, yes, it's fun to listen to music, you guys. And I think like listening to like your best favorite pump up music, like really like gets your vibe up and going. But we also have to think about like, am I wanting to like create Taylor Swift's like multi-millionaire success? Or do I want to create like my own like success by listening to like things that are feeding my mindset? So I always listen to a podcast when I'm like on like a longer commute. So I live like 20 minutes from town. When I drop off Pearson from daycare, I put a podcast in immediately on my way home from dropping him off. So just little things like that. Okay. The next thing on this daily method for success is to, I have some notes here, so I'm like referring. Okay, is to do a gratitude list. Okay, so gratitude is actually so important to live a like happy life now. right? It's so easy to get like so consumed about like, well, if I just had this, or if like I'm working towards this, but like until that happens, I'm like, I'm not going to be that happy, or like until I meet that person or that love of my life or this or that. And all these things can consume us and keep us from being happy like right now. So I think just grounding yourself with that gratitude list every single day really just helps you focus in on like what you actually have right now and what you can be grateful for. So for 5 things, that's like the minimum. Sometimes I do 10. And you can also, like, if you want, put little stickies up in your like bedroom mirror or in your bathroom mirror or wherever you're going to see them every single day to like remind yourself, like, I'm grateful for these things, like, you know, so there's that. You want to be doing 3 new asks daily. So when we say asks, reaching out and asking someone to take a look at the business, whether that's via a one-on-one, asking someone to do a 30 and 30 call with you, like a 3-way FaceTime chat, whether that is dropping off like product, like samples, or like the Age Well line and like a couple fizz. If there's someone local you can do that with. Right now it's kind of hard with like the state of our world. Or it's asking people to listen to what the Arbonne 30 is about. So explaining the 30 days to healthy living to someone. So all of those things are, we always say income producing activities. So it's important to be doing income producing activities and not just shoveling papers on your desk to make it look pretty. But you want to be getting in front of like 30 to 40 people in a month. So if you do 3 new asks a day, you're going to kind of be on trend with doing that. The next thing you want to be doing is 3 follow-up messages to previous asks. So let's just say last week you asked 3 new people, and today you're like, okay, I want to follow up with those people to see if they actually, so like, let's say someone said, you know what, the business isn't for me, but let me check out your catalog and like, let me see if there's some products that like interest me. Follow up with that person to see if they had a chance to look at the product catalog and like see if you can build that that follow up with them. So it's things like that. So you want to do 3 of those. Then you want to do 3 client PC client follow-ups. So this is just things like reminding someone they have, let's say it's their birthday. So you're putting a little fizzy and a tea in a card and sending it to them. It's kind of like client care love. You're following up with someone that maybe has a renewal or a reward. So maybe they have a free gift expiring. Maybe it's their renewal month. Maybe you want to tell them, maybe they're an old PC from like 2 years ago and it's free signups. So if they sign up, they can sign up for free. And anyways, it's just touching base with your clients and providing that really good customer care, which is really important to running a successful business. The next thing you want to do is touch base with 3 people that are on your team. So let's just say you're like, oh, well, I don't have a team. I'm brand new. That's okay. You will eventually have a team. But if you do have a team, this is just touching base with 3 people on your team to see how they're doing. Maybe you can have like a quick FaceTime chat with them. I did that this morning with 2 of my leaders. And so I'm going to touch base with at least 1 or 2 more. And today, and I just think it's so important to just, and it doesn't even have to be about Arbonne, you guys. It could just be about like, how are you doing? Like, how's your day? How is your like mental state? Like, how's your family? Just like touching base with people on your team, just to like let them know that you're thinking of them. And honestly, guys, I think it's like, I saw this, I read this one time, or maybe one of the like ENVPs said it once. And I was like, oh, I love that. Everybody is walking around with a sign on their forehead that says like, I want to be appreciated. So it's so true. Like we all just want to be asked like, how are you doing? Like, oh my gosh, or just like, give them a compliment. Be like, oh my God, I watched your story and like, you look so amazing. Or like that, like what you shared the other day was so inspiring. That just like builds people up, right? Okay. And the next thing is 3 relationship building actions. So what you want to do is you want to be like presence. We always stress you want to be present on social media. So whether that's Facebook or Instagram, and you want to be like building relationships with people. So what types of things can you do? So you're going to you're going to follow, like I always follow like at least 10 new accounts a day, and I'll like, and I'll comment on some of these people that I'm following. They're like their stories or their like thread. And so it's really important, because then if you keep doing that, they're going to be like, oh, this like Jenna is really like engaging with me. And like, and then you reach out and you build the relationship, and it's super important to do that. So take like 3 people and build those relationships. like schedule your social media post, or if you don't like to schedule it, you can just actually sit down and post your social media content. But make sure you guys don't get stuck in like that scroll hole where you're like, you sit down to do your post. I've done this so many times, you guys, I'm not perfect either, but I'm like, then I get seeing something, I'm like, oh my God, was she, and then it goes down this rabbit hole. And then like half an hour later, you're like, I haven't even done half of my daily method for success, and I haven't even posted my post for social media. And then you just beat yourself up because you're like, oh my gosh. So like, if you have to set a timer to stay on track and do these things, you guys, set a timer on your phone, read for 20 minutes. And then when the timer goes off, be like, okay, what's my next action item off of my list today? So that's super important. And then you want to review your goals. And I know this is sounding like, holy, like this is a lot of stuff, but honestly guys, like once you know how to do it, and like you're like prepared for your daily method, like and what you're doing, you get into a rhythm, and it just like, it's so much easier to do. So you want to review your goals. So let's just say your goal, whatever your goal is, let's say you're going for district manager this month and you're sitting at like 2,000 QV, right? And so you want to get into qualification with 2,500, or maybe you want to like promote, like, right? Like do it all. What do you need to do to get to that goal? Like how do you need to break that down? How close are you? Where's your gap? And like evaluate it. And then it's really important to plan your top 3 priorities for the next day. So it's so, you always hear this from ENVPs. I think it was like, Carrie McDonald said it once. She said, when you wake up the next morning, if you already have like, okay, I'm going to do my daily method for success, and you have your 3 priorities even before you do your daily, or you just know that you need to get those 3 things done. And it could be Arbonne related or not Arbonne related. Like, let's just say you have to like, I don't know, install something in your kitchen, or like you have to like, that's like such a bad example, but like, let's say you have to like do 2 loads of laundry and wash your floors or something. I don't know. Maybe you have a cleaner. But if you have to do something and it's like really important that you do it, make sure you just prioritize those things. Okay, and that's pretty much it, you guys. I just want to say, like, let's all create better habits together. And if you just get into a rhythm, like I said, it usually takes 21 days to create a habit, but if you can just start to do this daily method every day, or power hour, like power hours, sometimes you'll hear us call it power hour. A power hour to me is basically just mainly focusing on asking people to hear about Arbonne, building relationships on Instagram. And I'm more on Instagram than Facebook, so you'll hear me talk about Instagram more, but whatever your platform of choice is. And then, so it's mainly about like asking people to hear about the business, and then following new Instagram accounts and building relationships. That to me is more like a power hour. So like, how many people can you ask in an hour to take a look at Arbonne? So like 30 and 30 calls, like how many people can you be like, you know what, girl, like I think you'd be so amazing at this business. Would you give me 15 minutes of your time so I can explain a little bit about what Arbonne is to you? And so how many of those can you get through? If you can do like some people can bang those out in like 30 minutes. Or sorry, some people can do those in like an hour and send out 30 asks. That's huge, because you know what that's going to do? It's going to give you momentum for the next day and the next day. And we always say that our businesses run on 30, 60, 90-day cycles. But if you can start to build those like momentum and do like 30 asks a day, could you imagine where your business is going to go? It's going to blow up is what it's going to do. So I just wanted to leave it at that. I don't want to start rambling because I can do that. But anyways, I hope you guys found this beneficial, and reach up to your upline if you have any questions at all. Have a good day, guys.